Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So if you've been watching and you decided, yes, I would love to give online ESL a try, how do I get started? What do I need? Okay, I would say first start by making sure you have a laptop or a desktop computer, unless you're going to teach for PALFish. For PALFish, you're going to need a phone or a tablet, and you'll need a stand so that your phone and tablet aren't shaky and they are at eye level. Otherwise, you'll need a laptop or a desktop computer for the other companies. Each company has their own set of requirements for your tech. That means like your processor speed, your memory. I would shoot for one of the companies that has really high requirements. I would aim to fulfill that so that your other companies, you know that you'll be covered and you'll be fine. I would say Magic Ears and Zebra English, they come to mind as having high tech requirements. You can go to either of their websites and look up those requirements before you upgrade your current computer or laptop or before you buy a laptop or computer, which was my case. Before I started teaching online ESL, I did not have a laptop. I had a tablet with a wireless keyboard, and that's how I would do my email and my professional development hours for my teaching credential. And then, of course, browsing the internet. But for teaching online ESL, you definitely want to get a laptop or a computer. So start there, please. I also recommend getting a headset. I would get one with a noise canceling mic. The noise canceling mic drowns out extra noises that you don't want coming out. The companies really want a quiet work environment. So right now I currently have 2 fans going in here and my family, 3 kids out there, and it doesn't pick it up. It only picks up my voice. Other than a noise canceling mic, I recommend looking for one with big earpieces that go over and around your ears. I first started with one that sat on my ears, and after teaching just for a couple hours, my ears were red and sensitive to the touch. I have worn these today for 5 hours, and I have no pain, no redness, no sensitivity. So I've also heard that headsets that plug into your computer with a USB are more reliable than the ones that plug in using the little stereo jack, like with your phone, with your headphones. So I made sure to make sure to always look for a headset that plugs into my USB with my computer. Then you'll want to have a teaching space. You'll want to have a space that's quiet and free of distractions. You might have to get creative like I did. I live in a 1-story house that's small. It's an open floor plan. We have our living room and our kitchen, which are one big room, and then we have 3 bedrooms. And so I'm actually in the pantry. You don't see it, but my washer and my dryer are to my right. This right here is my water heater, and this is the door that leads to my kitchen. This is the doorknob. I put up some scrapbook paper and some teacher-ish decorations behind me. Those actually were from my old preschool class, which we didn't go back to. So those actually were from my classroom. I just had them at home and used what I had. I've seen other people who keep the background behind them pretty sparse, but they put up a sign with their name. They might print some little characters or some ABCs from online and put those up. Just as long as you have a nice, clean, non-distracting background. If it has teaching elements, even better. Then you'll want to make sure you have some good lighting. You definitely want to make sure that your face is fully visible. No shadows, no is the teacher smiling? How does the teacher form her mouth? You want to make sure students can clearly see your mouth formation and they can see your emotion on your face. So just make sure you're in a well-lit area. Some teachers just use their overhead light. Other teachers use a floor lamp that has multiple light bulbs. Some teachers buy one of those selfie ring lights. It just depends on your room and how well lit it is. Some other teachers are fortunate enough to have a wonderful window in front of them that gives them lots of natural light. So work with what you have. Then you'll also want to have some basic props. I would say my go-to, my number one would be a whiteboard. And I need to wipe this down because I use it all the time. But with a whiteboard, you're pretty much set. You can write letters, you can draw any visual that you need to show your student. You can hold it close, hold it far away. A whiteboard is essential. You will always, always, always have a need for a whiteboard. Other than that, I would recommend going to your local dollar store and looking for some basic sets of flashcards. You'll want some ABCs, some colors, some numbers, and some shapes. And I would also suggest while you're there, spend $1 on a little stuffy. They are so helpful in class. Sometimes the students are shy and they don't want to say hello to the foreign teacher, but they will say hello to the stuffy. And it makes them smile, it makes them feel comfortable. In class, you can use your stuffy to model what you want your students to say. A, your turn. So a stuffy can go so far in helping you in your classroom. One is more than enough. And I'd say whiteboard, flashcards, and stuffy, and you are set to go for several classes. Some teachers don't have the space to house physical props, or they just don't prefer having physical props. I would say look into digital props. Windows users use Manicam a lot, or OBS. I know Apple users use a product called CamTwist, and these allow you to, with the click of a button, show a digital prop instead of having it physically here. So you don't have any clutter around you and you have hundreds, thousands of props at your fingertips. So I would take some time to look at your space, think about what you're comfortable using, and begin to gather some things around you. It doesn't have to be very much. The platforms have beautiful graphics that you're able to circle pictures and you're able to point to. So just having some basic things at hand can go a long way with your instruction. I would also suggest if you have a printer, that is another way to get some basic props. If you are not going to the stores yet because we're in a pandemic and the flashcards are more than $1 on Amazon, but you have a printer, Google ABCs, numbers, shapes, colors, and you can print some at home that will serve you very well. I would also suggest looking, if you have kids, nieces, nephews, a Goodwill, looking through their toys and trying to gather some props that you think you might use. I had foam at home when I first started, and it's been over a year and I still use this every single day. I just cut the foam and I made some props that I use all the time. Do you like? Great job. Also just note cards. I wrote a question mark on a note card, put it on a stick, and this helps the students know, which one is it? And they know, okay, she's asking me a question. So I've had this since day one. It's been over a year. It's not even laminated. I use it every single class. So just use what you have around you. Make the most of it. We had thrown some parties here at the house for my kids, and we had some of those selfie props hanging around. Oh yeah, I grab those and I use them all the time. So just get creative with what you have around you, but that's just extra to start. Whiteboard, flashcards, and one stuffy, and you are golden. You'll also need to check with your platforms that you're hoping to apply to if they require a bachelor's degree. Many of them do, some of them don't. Two that come to mind, Magic Ears and Palfish. You can be working on your BA, you'll just need your official transcripts. You'll also need to have an ESL certificate. And this is not because of companies, and it doesn't vary from company to company. It's because of the Ministry of Education in China. They require all of their ESL teachers to have an ESL certificate. So either a TESOL or a TEFL. And you can find many programs online with varying prices to complete your ESL certificate. I obtained mine through Magic Ears University, and there is an affiliate link down here, down below in the description, if you would like to get yours with them as well. I decided to go through Magic Years University because it is fully accredited. It's not only accepted at Magic Years, it's accepted other places. I've used it for my other companies. You can take it with you abroad. I've added it to my teaching resume for the public schools as well. It never expires and it's thorough and complete. I worked as an ESL specialist for the public schools here in Texas, and the information is spot on. The TESOL is 120 hours, and it can vary how long it's going to take you depending on how much time you have to put into it. I signed up when I first started my hiring process, and it took me 1 week, little chunks at a time, to complete. I have 3 kids at home and other responsibilities. So that's how I was able to finish it in 1 week. I know some other teachers have finished it in a matter of hours in one day. Some other teachers have taken even longer and finished it over a couple weeks. It varies from person to person depending on how much time you have to put into it. But it is doable and it's very interesting. It teaches you some fundamentals that you'll need in your ESL classroom. If you've noticed, I use my hands a lot to talk. That's TPR. I learned that through studying to become an ESL teacher for the public schools and also through obtaining my TESOL. So you'll definitely get some grammar review. You'll get some basics of teaching online using TPR. You'll learn what students are usually capable of at different levels and how you can modify your language for the different levels of English. So super interesting. If you want to be an ESL teacher, it won't feel tedious because it's stuff that you want to learn. Okay, looking through my list, I think we covered it all. So those would be your starting. Okay, let me get these things together. Let me start filling out some applications while I'm doing this, because you don't need to have it all set in stone, ready to go until you sign your contract. So start looking at various companies online. And if you have any questions about the ones I have contracts with, I'd be happy to answer them for you. My email is down below in the description. I currently have contracts with Magic Years, Zebra English, GoGo Kid, and Cambly. So if any of those pique your interest after you do some research, feel free to reach out or comment down below and I will answer you as soon as I can. All right, happy teaching everyone. I will see you next time. Bye.